please click on like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for your great time and effort. Alright, good morning, hello people, wherever you are. Welcome to my site. My topic of the day, sports related. It's about basketball, the NBA. It's about the extraordinary, the wonderful, the great Scottie Pippen. And I'm going to be comparing him to a player of the modern age. And what I mean by modern age, I mean by when Magic and Larry Bird started playing. So I think it's from 1979 up until today. You know, most of us was not born in 1950s where we had the opportunity to see Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, and George Mikan play. We wasn't born then, most of us. We only know most of us know from the Bird, Magic era till today. So I'm going to be comparing Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan. I'm not Michael Jordan, to Scottie Pippen to Kobe Bryant. This is part 2 of Scottie Pippen can't stop blaming Mike for your troubles. Because Scottie, like Kobe, had the opportunity to separate himself from a great player. Kobe wanted to separate himself from Shaq, and he was successful. Scottie never really wanted to, but he did went to other teams to try to separate himself from the Chicago Bulls. So in a way, he did try to separate himself from Mike, in a way. But you know, Kobe Bryant, in this modern era, he definitely wanted to separate himself from Shaq. Because if he didn't, he would have been like another sidekick. Like for instance, for Larry Bird, his sidekicks was Bobby Parrish and Kevin McHale. Those was his sidekicks, or his number 2. For Michael Jordan, his sidekick basically was Scottie Pippen. And the big difference between those, Kobe was a sidekick, Scottie was a sidekick. Like I said, Kobe wanted to get away from Shaq. So that would lead to Shaq being traded to the Miami Heat. Scottie really never wanted to get away from Jordan. For the most part, he just was complaining about the Chicago Bulls not paying him enough. But hey, he signed a contract, so they paid him what he agreed to. He never wanted to get away from Mike. Kobe wanted to get away from Shaquille O'Neal. He did not want his name to be written down as the sidekick of Shaquille O'Neal. Scottie Pippen was happy to be Jordan's sidekick, as he showed in 1994 when he was itching Jordan to come back, when he was holding up the shoes of the Air Jordans up with Mike on the bottom, and he was edging Mike to come back. Kobe Bryant never told Shaq to come back. He wanted to get rid of Shaq. And as we saw, Kobe did separate himself from Shaq. He won 2 championships. Even if he had won 1 championship, that would have made him separated from Shaquille O'Neal. Now, when we talk about Kobe Bryant, we rarely ever talk about Shaquille O'Neal. Rarely. Even though he and Shaq won 3 championships, Kobe just winning 2 put him in the class with Shaquille O'Neal. Now, see, Kobe has been elevated to Shaquille O'Neal level of importance. Now, here we go. This is coming from part 1 of my discussion of Scottie Pippen blaming Mike. If you all know, as you all know, if you was around long enough, the first team that Scottie Pippen went to was the Portland, after he left Chicago Bulls, was the Portland Trail Blazers. And I did my research. He was with Portland for roughly 4 years. And those 4 years, he had the opportunity to at least win a championship. And this was his biggest case of winning. When he got to Portland the first year, you know the hype behind Scottie Pippen on our team and all that. energize all the players. So Portland that year made it to the Western Conference Final, where they played the Los Angeles Lakers. Before Phil Jackson came there, the Los Angeles Lakers was a joke. Even though they had all that talent, they did not have a championship level coach. When Phil Jackson came, he instilled in them a championship mentality because he was a championship level coach. Not just with Jordan, because I believe Phil Jackson was a winning coach in, I believe, the ABA or one of them other little minor leagues. So he just wasn't an NBA championship. He was a champion in other basketball leagues. You know, the NBA just put a more stamp on it that he won, that he was a champion. So, like I said, Scottie Pippen, he had the chance to separate himself from Michael Jordan. That was one championship. And like I said in the first video about Scottie separating himself from Mike, for the whole, now I said Portland and Los Angeles Lakers, they went to 7 games. And in game 7, the majority of the game, Portland was whipping Los Angeles butt. They had Los Angeles on a hill. Going into the fourth quarter, they had a 14-point lead. And if you know anything about basketball in the 1990s or the early 2000s, 14-point lead in any quarter was huge because the three-pointer wasn't as prevalent as it is now. It was prevalent, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. And if you know anything about basketball, back in that era, defense was more tight. I think back in that you can do hand checking, you can bump up the players, you can bump up them to them, you can push them. Like you can't do that much now. So the Scottie and his Portland Trailblazers had a 14-point lead, and they squandered it in the fourth quarter. So, unlike Kobe Bryant, who never wanted his team to squander the lead, Scottie Pippen, who was the main man on that team, they looked up to him as the leader. He had the chance to be an alpha. But he could not step up to the plate. He could not say, look, guys, we got a 14-point lead. The Lakers trying to come back. I know my former coaches on the sidelines. He know me, but I know him too. See, nobody ever think about that. Yes, Phil Jackson knew the ins and outs of Scottie Pippen, but Scottie Pippen also knew the ins and out of Phil Jackson. So we can't say Phil had the upper hand. They both had the upper hand. But Phil, he knew one thing about Scottie. He probably was not an alpha player. He may want to be, but he's not. And Scottie could not rise to the occasion to be the alpha of the team and say, we got a 14-point lead. We're going to smash the Lakers in their face. We're going to put them down. We're going to bury them. Scottie Pippen did not have that mentality to say, we're going to bury them. And then if you notice, no other commentator up to this day, they never bring it up in Scottie's face. You had a 14-point lead when you was the Trailblazers for the first year, and you let it slip away from you. If Scottie Pippen had just won one championship, like Kobe, who won 2, but now 3. If he had won one championship with the Portland Trailblazers, or even if he didn't even win a championship, let's make it to the final. But if Portland had won to the NBA Finals, they would have been facing the Indiana Pacers, which was an older team. So they probably would have had the advantage to beat them. I think most of the players in Indiana was like in their mid-30s. If Scottie could have beaten the Lakers and went to the finals, just going to the finals, he would have separated himself from Michael Jordan, because he would have said, at least he went to 7 finals. Jordan only went to 6. But no, he could not do it. He could not maintain that massive 14-point lead. And 14-point lead was massive then. If he would have did that, won that championship, he truly would have been one of the 75 greatest players. I know he is, but he's one of the 75 greatest players based on him playing with Michael Jordan. Like Kobe Bryant, he's one of the top 75 players based on his own accolades. Just winning those 2 championships. Winning those 2 championships that Kobe won has forever separated him from Shaquille O'Neal. If Scottie would have been tough, with a tough mentality, and took that team to the finals and probably won a championship, he would forever have separated himself from Michael Jordan. And then, when Michael Jordan made that video, the 10-part series, he couldn't tarnish Scottie Pippen name anyway. People would have forgotten that Scottie Pippen had the headache in the game against the Detroit Pistons. They would have forgotten when Scottie told Phil Jackson, "I'm not going in the game because you're going to get the ball to Kukoc." People, if Scottie would have won 1 championship, they would have forgot all about that. They would say, "Look, man, you have separated yourself from Michael Jordan. You truly are a legendary player. You truly are a player who can take a team to the championship and win." But no, he couldn't do it. So tell me what y'all think about Scottie and Kobe. Scottie, just like Kobe, had the chance to separate himself from Michael Jordan. And I do know this. I'm going to go back to the 50s era when Bill Russell was playing. I don't know the name of the players, but I know after Bill Russell left the Boston Celtics, players who played with him separated themselves from Bill Russell by winning at least one more championship. But you know, since most NBA games was on TV back then, and TV was sort of new back in the 50s and even the early 60s, we don't have many of their games to see. But even Boston Celtics players who played with Bill Russell separated themselves from Bill Russell to get legendary status. Scottie Pippen had the chance. Like a lot of other secondary players, like I said in part 1, never had that chance to separate themselves from the other legendary player. Scottie had it, and he squandered it. Tell me what you all think. Till the next time, dear listener. Peace.